Great, okay. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Township Committee meeting on April 20th, 2026. Can I have a roll call, please, Bev?
Mr. Bartlett is absent. Mr. McFadden?
Here.
Mr. Olet?
Here.
Ms. Seuss is absent. Ms. Fitzpatrick?
Here. Okay, also present, Mrs. Seminaro, our administrator, Mrs. Russell, our municipal clerk, Mrs. Hart, our deputy municipal clerk, and Mr. Warren, our police chief. Please join me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Bev, would you please read the sunshine statement?
Yes, Mayor. Please be advised that proper notice of this meeting has been given in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act in the following manner. Written notice has been mailed to the Burlington County Times and Courier Post and published in the December 28, 2025 editions. Written notice has been posted on the official bulletin board of the Township of Delanco at least 48 hours prior to the meeting. Live stream statement. This meeting of the Delanco Township Committee may be transmitted via live stream on YouTube video. The streaming of the meeting is not intended to be relied upon as formal public access under Open Public Meetings Act, and if the technology is disrupted for any reason, the township meeting will proceed in person as an official meeting in accord with the official notice. Please silence your cell phones and refer to the rules governing public comment attached to this agenda.
Thank you, Bev. At this time, I would ask for a moment of silence remembering John Rainkamp. Many of you may remember John. He's a longtime resident of Delanco and also a developer for Delanco. Newton's Landing, the Point, and High Point. He was responsible for starting those developments. Other contractors did take over. So let's have a moment of silence for John. Thank you. The first item on the agenda is Ordinance 2026-6, amending Chapter 245-16, governing solid waste and mandatory recycling, collection of tires, fees for disposal by the township. This is the second reading by title only and public hearing. So this hearing is now open to the public. We are amending our fees to actually comply with the county's fees because our fees were so low. So that's what we are doing, so that whatever the public pays us, that's what we have. That's what the county charges us. So there being no questions or concerns from the public, I'll close this portion to the public and have a motion to.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
Ms. Fitzpatrick?
Yes. Our meeting's now open to the public for comments and questions. This is for agenda items only, session 1. There being none, I'll close this portion of the meeting to the public. Okay. Comments and reports. Township Administrator.
Thank you, Mayor. In this agenda, we have a resolution that we are receiving $20,000 for the green communities for DEP to us to do a tree inventory. So this resolution is going to authorize that grant award. This is the one that goes back to 2024. They're a little behind, still stacked from COVID. And there's also, you'll see a sidebar agreement on here, and it's for the Delanco Township Police Association. There's no change to the existing contract. We're just adding additional language for clarification. And I'm happy to report that so far we have 8 children signed up for this Thursday for Take Your Child to Work Day.
Oh, good.
So Bev and I have been planning some things to keep them active, maybe bring them in here. We have them going into each of the offices. So we're actually looking forward to it.
Oh, that should be fun for the kids. Great. Anything else?
That is it.
Okay. Department heads, the chief.
I don't have much tonight, only in the preliminary stages of planning for our National Night Out. It's going to be on August 4th this year, from 6 to 8 p.m. So we'll have some, I'll do a little bigger and better this year than we did last year, improve some things, so looking forward to it. So more information will come nearing that date.
Great.
Other than that, that's all I have today.
Thank you, chief. Bev.
For affordable housing, as you know, beginning last year, the fourth round of affordable housing took effect, and municipalities, including Delanco, had a list of documents and procedures that had to meet statutory deadlines for accepting and approving all of our designations. Last week, Mr. Heinold filed the final consent order and related schedule with Judge Cook in accord to the 4/15 deadline. And with that, we are in full compliance. Delanco continues to be in a very good position with regards to affordable housing, and we have met all of our requirements to date. And then Community Block Development Grant, CDBG grant news. I attended the most recent meeting on April 9th, and the county has received full funding from HUD for the 2025 projects, and we received our signed and accepted sub-grantee agreement for our 25 grant-funded project, which will be a continuation of handicapped ramps throughout town. And Mr. Fox will probably update us in May, beginning of June, as to going out to bid and when we're going to award that contract, and the project will begin. And Mrs. Hart is going to update us on some upcoming events.
Just a reminder, this weekend, Saturday, April 25th, starting at 9 a.m. is the townwide yard sale. We are finalizing the maps this week and expect to have them out later, around Thursday probably. They will be available in our lobby as well as local businesses around town. The firehouse will be having their hoagie sale, and the Boy Scouts will be having their poor-girl sale. The following weekend, Saturday, May 2nd, we have our sharing event for Delanco residents in the parking lot of the municipal building from 8 to 12, rain or shine. And then we will also have community cleanup day that Saturday, May 2nd, from 7 to 3 at the Public Works Garage, where they will take electronics, tires, and many other trash items that we may have.
Thank you, Erin. We do want to add that we may change the yard sale date, and Bev will do an update to everyone Thursday. We'll make a final decision whether or not we're going to continue it to next week or Sunday, because it looks like Saturday may be a total rain out. And the firehouse will still sell their sandwiches, their hoagies. If it's raining, I doubt the Boy Scouts will be out there cooking. So we'll send an email blast out. So I hope everybody here gets our emails. Does everybody here get our emails? Good. So that's what we'll do with that.
Mayor, on the cleanup day at Public Works, we're accepting tires. We had, I thought, a discussion that we were going to limit it to 4
It is
tires.
4, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's four per resident or household. They have to have proof too, yeah. Okay, so Fern, and with that, I'll let you do your report.
Let's see, the History Board, again, has made a lot of movement on the veterans banners, and I believe somewhere around May 18th, the forms will be available so people can start ordering their banners. These are for the banners out on Burlington Ave, where we have decorative poles. Matter of fact, the banners that are out there right now that were just put out are for the our centennial. They really look nice, and
Yeah, they do.
they did a good job on those. Let's see, other things. The sneak box boat. The History Board has got in touch with the Philadelphia Maritime Museum, and they had given us a bid, and so now it's a matter of making arrangements to get the sneak box boat over to them. so they can start refurbishing the boat. And let's see, library had their tea event this past Saturday, and what I understand, it was well attended and folks had a good time and were able to communicate. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Phil?
All right. On April 7th, I attended the Joint Land Use Board meeting. Fred Kennedy's Trucking was up in front of us. On April 9th, we had the recreation meeting. We had discussion of our busy month coming up with all the May events. Also updated them on the concerts that are booked at the Recreation Summer Concert Series. April 13th, I attended a calendar meeting to review pictures for the new Delanco's new calendar. April 15th, I attended the security meeting for court, also the monthly court session, and I want to thank Jen Esposito and, of course, Chief Basil. There was no concerns, and there was no changes recommended, so that was an outstanding job by you and your officers.
Thank you.
April 16th, we had the Centennial meeting. We met with the Shade Tree, the library, and the EAB to discuss their roles and ideas for Centennial 250 event. It was a welcome meeting with them, and everyone enjoyed it. April 18th, I attended the Del Riv opening day in Riverside. I volunteered my time to help with the concessions. It was a very well-attended event. It was great to see Delanco's coach, Commissioner Bob McChernick, recognized for his years of service and dedication to the Youth Sports Association. It was very nice. And that's it for me, Mayor.
Oh, thank you. My report, Recreation, they've had 2 meetings since my last report, March 19th and April 9th. A lot of things happening with Recreation. Easter egg hunt was held on March 28th and was enjoyed by many. It was cold and windy, but that didn't stop our children from having a great time and taking pictures with the Easter Bunny. Summer camp registration is open for our youth, and the summer concert dates are set, and a schedule will be distributed once it's complete, and I think Phil's in charge of that. Centennial Park, Phil and I met with our engineer to go over the correct set of plans for the park improvements, and we're waiting for the cost estimate so that can go out to bid. Hoping to complete construction and landscaping to have a dedication in the fall. Centennial Park is what is now the Vine Street Park, right across from the ice cream bar. It's going to be enlarged a bit because we have that additional piece of land that the county granted to us, and we hope to have a nice dedication there for our centennial and have a time capsule that we bury there. So that should be a nice event. Met with Assemblyman Singh, with Phil, and also our administrator to see if there was any funding available for our township. We've had budget meetings so that we could introduce it, which we did introduce it to the public on April 6th, and our public meeting is scheduled for May 4th. I attended the Fireman's Banquet that was held at the Madison on March 21st. It was an event recognizing our volunteers for all they do for the town as well as the surrounding communities. Attended the lead graduation for the 5th graders, which is Law Enforcement Against Drugs and Violence, and Fern and Phil were also there, and I believe Matt and Carolyn were there as well. Our police department has been teaching this program for several years, and it's always nice to hear what the students take away from that course. This year it was taught by Officer Lusner. I attended 2 birthday celebrations. Teresa Murphy was 101 on April 8th. They had a pizza party for her at her home in Delanco on April 9th. Her 2 daughters were present and some of the retired teachers from the Delanco School District. Mrs. Murphy was the secretary to our superintendent at Delanco Schools for 31 years. And she is the epitome of grace in her presence and in her dress, everything, just a super lady. So it was my pleasure to present her with a proclamation from the residents of Delanco. I also attended an open house for Eleanor James on April 11th. I presented her with a flower arrangement as she was celebrating her 105th birthday. She is still sharp as a tack, and I had presented her a proclamation on her 100th birthday, and she still knows me. I've known her for years. She was a bus driver for this school, and actually, my daughter was on her bus when she went to St. Joe's. She says she plans to be here for 106, so I'll let you know next year if we have a celebration for her again. I attended a mayor's meeting with mayors from South Jersey and Mount Laurel. Kamani Scott, a senior aide to the governor, was present and fielded our questions. And he went over some things: school funding, status quo, state health benefits, status quo, incentives discussed, local efficiency achievement programs through DCA, sharing services and consolidation. They're pushing townships to work together to share more services and consolidate some services. Civil service regarding police hires, state mandated ordinances, stormwater management, street sweeping, replacement tree ordinance, veterans, real estate taxes, data centers. There were so many items that we discussed that Mr. Scott's supposed to get back to us with some updates, but a couple things are just definitely status quo until the governor gets her hands in everything. Probably some of the changes won't take place until next year. Sewer Authority, we met on April 14th. We awarded the bid to Vortex to reline the laterals for Larchmont and Delaware from manhole to manhole. Carvana's testing's been completed. We're just waiting for the results. They excavated 2 tons of sludge from their drying beds. Beverly will be installing a headwork system that will consist of 2 screening processes. First, we'll be screening the system to remove gloves, rags, etc., and the second will be screening solids, sand, and light gravel. Operator's report is on file, and our next meeting is May the 12th. I attended the senior meeting. The speaker was Liz Mertz from First Bank regarding the Gen Gold account with all the free benefits. And she supplied pizza for the seniors. It was a fun event. We're still reviewing the RFP process for 401 Creek Road. As Phil indicated, I attended the spring sports event on the 18th. The ceremony introduced all the teams for the season: t-ball, softball, and baseball. And I just stayed for the first hour, and it was so nice to see Bob, as Phil said, recognized for his years of service, in addition to his entire family. And then after that, I attended the library tea, which is always a wonderful event. I was glad that I could attend this year, and thank you to Katerina and her staff for the lovely event and all the delicious goodies that were served. So that is my report. So now, I would like to read for 2026 Arbor Day proclamation. In 1872, the Nebraska Board of Agriculture established a special day to be set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas this holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with a planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. And Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world. And whereas trees can be a solution to combating climate change by reducing the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cutting heating and cooling costs, moderating the temperature, cleaning the air, producing life-giving oxygen, and providing habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, areas and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. So now therefore, I, Kate Fitzpatrick, Mayor of the Township of Delanco, do hereby proclaim April 24th, 2026 as Arbor Day in the Township of Delanco. And I urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. And I further urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden their heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations. Dated this 20th day of April 2026. I know some people have problems with trees on their properties that maybe they didn't plant. In the last couple years, I have a lot next to my house. I have planted 4 trees there. I'm just so thrilled to see that they're growing and that they are going to beautify my property. So I had the choice to plant them, and I planted the trees that would be good for that lot. So I feel good about that. So consent agenda items, we'll move on to them. Consent agenda items are considered to be routine and will be enacted with a single motion. Any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda. All consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes. I think everything here is okay. Everyone okay?
We're good?
Yep.
Resolution 2026-70, grant agreement between the Township of Delanco, Delanco Township Shade Tree Commission, and the State of New Jersey by and for the Department of Environmental Protection, 2024 NJUCF Green Communities Grant. Resolution 2026-71, sidebar agreement amending the collective bargaining agreement between the Township of Delanco and the Delanco Township Police Association. Approval of business licenses, 2026 through 28 through 2026-31 and 2026-33. Approval of the minutes for February 2, regular meeting, March 4th, budget work session, March 18th, budget work session, and March 30th, special budget work session. Approve the payment of bills in the amount of $1,096,887.24 as per the bill list run date, April 20th, 2026. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda items?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Roll call, Bev?
Mr. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
Ms. Fitzpatrick?
Yes. Correspondence, Bev?
Yes, we received an email on April 9th from Keith Letizio expressing interest in being appointed to the History Board. It was forwarded to History Board Chairman, Secretary, and Mr. Olet, and they did have a conversation, and the History Board do recommend that Mr. Letizio be appointed, and that would be for the vacant position that expires 12/31/2026 to fill the balance of that
Oh,
position.
great. So then we can do a motion to approve that appointment for Keith, and you can let him know.
Yes.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do we need to do a roll call on that?
No,
Okay.
not all in favor.
Aye.
Mr.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so yes, I will reach out to him regarding his oath and make sure that he has scheduling and all that. So,
Good.
very good. So I think we have a full complement except for the
Alternates
the
now?
alternates, I think. No, full
That's
board.
good.
Yeah.
That's good. They needed that. Meeting open to the public for comments and questions. General session 2. Ray.
Ray Weber, 22 Ships Way. Question for you. I talked to John Fenimore 2 months ago about a sewer problem with storm sewer at 24 Ships and haven't heard back from him or anything else. The whole assembly is sitting in the hole.
Is this where, I thought John was at that meeting, right?
Yes, he was.
And didn't this have something to do with your contractor?
Yeah, well, he said he was going to be in touch with him. I haven't heard back from him.
Oh, you haven't heard from John? Okay, then we'll,
Haven't heard anything about it. And John was out there the next day, put 2 cones out there, and it's been sitting there for 2 months.
okay, so we need to check with your, I'll check with John to see
Yeah,
what he's
what's
doing.
going on there.
Okay,
I know
Ray.
in the past, John says he can't find anything that's gonna fit that. What happens is you just, like everybody else, you take it out and rebuild, put something different in.
Yeah, we'll have to have Harry take a look at it too. If it's going to be something that we do, I thought the company that does your landscaping was responsible for that. I thought
That's
that's,
something between them.
okay,
I told that to John. I said, you guys gotta handle that,
okay,
okay?
yes.
And then the second thing is, there was 2 trees that blew down, one tree that blew down, the other one was leaning between the High Point and Newton's Landing, Traditions at Newton's Landing. It backed onto the #1 Pennington place. They cut down the trees, High Point had them cut down, the stumps are still sitting there.
Okay. And,
And that was something that Bev was working on too,
yeah, be-
with them.
Remind them.
yeah, because wasn't that High Point's property?
Yes.
It wasn't the township's?
It's not the township, it's High Point's property, but High Point was saying no, and that's the reason why I went back to Bev to get that. And they did take them down. The High Point did cut them down, but they still
Well,
left the stumps.
that's not High Point, that's the Point, right?
The point,
The
yeah.
point.
That's
that's the
the
point,
Point.
that's the
High
point.
Point's John Marr Way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are the stumps in the ground, just need to be removed?
Yeah,
or they're-
yeah, the
okay.
stump's gotta be ground down.
But if they're on their property, are we,
Yeah, it's just,
I know it's probably not as nice looking as you'd
Yeah.
like, but I don't know that we can force them to take them out, but we'll look into it.
I'll reach out to the,
Yeah.
the
Each of
company.
that's all I'm just asking, because the lady who lives at 1 is asking me. So
Right.
I'm just going
Okay,
back.
because it's right in her backyard.
Yeah, yeah. And then the last thing is, I mentioned it to John, that there was a no U-turn sign and a one-way sign at the Old Creek Road and Newton's Landing Boulevard disappeared after the first snowstorm,
Okay.
and haven't seen it since.
U-turn, no U-turn, and
One-way sign.
one way, okay.
It's coming out. The base is sitting in the ground, but the whole top half of it, I have no clue where it went. It's not laying there or anything else. Problem is, the tractor trailers that come out of
Powerhouse?
Powerhouse, when those guys make that turn, they take them down. So maybe they gotta put it someplace, move it over a little bit or whatever when they're trying to make that turn.
Okay,
Because those trucks are at least 53 feet long. So I think there's a problem there and stuff when they come around there. So, other than that, that's it.
thank you, Ray.
Thank you.
We will look into these matters. Good.
Eric Cooper, 3 Edwards Avenue. About the trees, I mean, the trees around town are great, they look nice, they're pretty, but there's a lot of damage. Everybody knows I walk around town all day long.
I know. I see you.
Yeah, 10 miles a day for 3 years now.
Wow.
Straight.
I wish I could do that.
But a lot of the sidewalks are up, the curbs are up, getting them trimmed. I mean, I've talked to John about it, I know he's really busy. I've had one that's half dead, that's been that way for 3 years. We have one across the street, it took him 3 years to take down. It's doing a lot of damage, and they're planting more trees, if you can't take care of the ones you have, it's a problem.
If you see a tree, or if you have a tree on your property that maybe the township owns, you have to go to shade tree, the
I've
shade
done
tree.
that.
You have to
I've done that.
apply,
I've had
and,
John and his wife have been out the house. The guy that you hired is supposed to be the expert. He came out twice.
yeah.
Only the roots were twisted. I said, we're gonna untwist the roots. I mean, you know,
So you didn't get the satisfaction?
no. But mine's not that, mine's a small tree, but I can't touch it. I could take it down in an hour myself. It's a little maple tree.
Right.
But there's ones around town that are, the sidewalks are,
Yeah, I know. We're trying to address some of those issues. I'll a lot of the old town sections of Delanco, the trees are enormous, and it wasn't the right tree in the right place, and we're hoping to correct that situation. But it's very difficult because the homeowner is responsible for the sidewalk at this time, and we're trying to put together something with the CO that when a house is sold, the sidewalk would have to be repaired. As far as the trees coming down as a result of a raised sidewalk, the shade tree has other recommendations, but you definitely, any homeowner has to go through shade tree. It's not something that we can do. And then there is an appeal process, which we have modified. So if you have a problem with your tree and you want to go to shade tree again, that's entirely up to you.
And I understand some of the people want the trees by the curbs. Like I have a bend on my street. The neighbor wanted them, they planted 6 of them around the curb. You got 5 cars on one side, 4 cars on the other side, and the trees. I've had it where I had to back up because you couldn't see going around the curb. And
What
that's
street
planted
is, what street is that?
Edwards.
Edwards, okay.
I mean, it's an issue.
It
You
is.
can't plant more stuff when you can't take care of what you have.
But if you plant them on your own property, it's a different story.
No, they're township trees.
No, I said my trees I planted on my own property.
More tree stories.
Okay.
Bill Reynolds, 208 Larchmont Drive. I was here last year with the same problem, the same issue. It's a township tree, and my neighbor across the street, doing the right thing to repair his sidewalk, he cut one of the main taproots of this gigantic sycamore tree. And then on top of that, PSE&G came in and cut the whole center of the tree out, so now it's like completely unbalanced. 80% of it's hanging over the street, and the other 20% is hanging over the neighbor's yard. It's just so overgrown, it really needs attention, it needs to be topped or pruned or whatever you can, put in the budget to take care of some of these issues.
I know that you were at the shade tree meeting. I was the liaison last year, I believe, Phil, when you came.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought they were going to trim that tree. They didn't trim it.
No, nothing's been done. And, I mean, it's, I believe that the arborist was here that night,
Yeah.
and he said that the tree was healthy, but not really, that it has kind of a disease where every time we get a storm, it just rains stems and sticks all down in the street and on people's yards, and it's a mess.
Yeah, didn't he say something about they were going to wait and see what the new growth was, but they were going to trim it or something to that effect?
There's been no trimming, and it looks poor. It
Let me
really
have
does.
that address again. Your
I'm
address.
at 208. and
Right.
I
It's across the
honestly,
street.
It's directly across the street from our house.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, whatever, if they can even get in there and just prune it would be helpful. But it's unfortunate, PSC, the electric company came in and just.
When
gave
did
it
they, come in after you attended the shade tree meeting?
No, this was before.
It was before,
I mean,
yeah, because
literally,
I
think
remember,
they've been through
yeah.
At least 2 or 3 times, and they always seem to find more limbs to take off, so. It's a shame, but if you drive down Larchmont, you'll see at the end of the street, it's just hanging over. Whatever can be done, I appreciate it.
All right. I'll check with them to see if they're going to trim it. Anyone else? Okay. I'll close this portion of the meeting to the public. And it looks like we have a discussion item, website upgrade and redesign. And I guess that must be you, Debbie?
That is me. Bev and I have been doing some research to find a more user-friendly website that's also ADA compliant, and we have come across one. We've been working on that to get it. We can send you some examples of what it's going to look like. We just wanted to give you a heads up. We just started, so we're in the very early stages.
Oh, good.
But I'm thinking 8 to 10 weeks, I think they said, from start to finish.
Yeah.
And
So
they
it-
will take care of doing everything and up?
Yes.
Yeah, they'll work on the setup, and it'll be the kind of, similar to our website now, where we can go in and make changes to the pages, which is nice, it saves money and saves time, things that we can adapt it to our needs, but it's we've seen some nice designs.
Good, good, because I know that's definitely a need,
Yes.
especially for the residents, because sometimes I have a hard time
Mhm.
finding something, so, and I've been here for a long time, so for someone to get in there and try to find something, it's difficult. That's good. Any,
You said that there's currently other towns that are using this sewer?
Yes.
Okay, and you'll get that?
We can get that, and then they also sent us templates of what pages would look like. But yes, I can definitely send you some towns' names, and you can just take a look and see.
Thank you.
Because that's kind of what we did to see how easy we can access their sites, is how we judged it.
Good. Anybody have anything else? This is a short meeting. Sure, Bill. Could, just come forward so we can put it on the record.
You mentioned about the park across from the ice cream parlor. In one of the books, the history books out in the lobby, there was talk of making a park over where the old shoe factory was.
Yeah,
Is there any movement there, or is?
that's 200 Ash Street. We have to do a remediation. We're working with DEP. We have to do a remediation on that.
I
We
see.
have received a grant from them, a partial grant. I think we have to contribute some funds to that grant.
We do, yes.
Okay.
And we also have to rebuild part of the seawall there as one of their requirements. But that development's going to take some time, Bill.
Yeah, I understand.
But it's going to be nice, hopefully. We hope to have a fishing pier, an access ramp for kayaks and canoes, a picnic area. It really, I hope it happens in my time, because I would love to see it.
It's a nice piece of land. That
It
would be
is, yeah. Thank you, Bill. Anyone else? Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. Good night. Was it freeze?
Good.
So I don't know if the next meeting will be that good with the budget and all, but I think the budget's pretty decent. Did you get a chance to review the budget message?